I hope that I can choose the right partnership. And I always prefer mainstream. Target, the Vietnamese communities in every country is great. But I don't want just that. I want the mainstream, the real customers. Like Hong Kong, I want all Hong Kong customers. A few Vietnamese customers are okay, but all Hong Kong customers. If I open in New York, I like to see all American, and I like them to come to my store on the regular basis, not because of the cultural experience. Cultural experience, you go there for once per lifetime. But, it's not what we want. So it will reflect on the decoration, on the pricing strategy, everything with that in mind. Like for 24 store in Europe or in United States, it's got Vietnam culture touch, but cannot be too much. Too much, you don't feel comfortable to go there every day. McDonald's, they don't put American flag or whatever, but you go there, you eat, you become addicted. So that's what my strategy. And always go for best locations possible. The challenges, too many challenges, but this is just a few. Most of the challenges relate to the management of the franchisees, both in overseas and in Vietnam, and especially in Vietnam. I found that all my franchisees, because pho noodle is something that in Vietnam everybody claims that they can cook. The other day I went to Hanoi, I was in the taxi, and the taxi driver said that, wow, I am the best, I can cook the best pho in Vietnam. And everybody says so. So the franchisees, many of them tend to change the flavor because they think they're good, So it's so tough to get them back on track. It's still going on, very difficult. That is why I have written 2 books on franchising. The first Vietnamese books, because many of them are not familiar with franchise business as well. So I've written 2 books, how to buy a franchise and how to build a franchise system in Vietnam, in Vietnamese language. It was the first time, and bestsellers. But I don't make money for that. Another challenge is also for management is they save cost. I've had franchisees, switch off air conditioning to save electricity. And I say, wait a minute, you cannot do this. You spoil the whole concept. The whole concept is air conditioning, cool air, it's nice ambience. And you switch off the air conditioning, you switch off on the lighting, Or they change the utensils, they use a cheap one. So what I found was to make sure that they are successful, my franchisees. Once they are successful, they don't know, they break the rules, but you tell them, they get back on track straight away, 1 minute later. But if they don't make a lot of money, then God, it's a tough time. They do a lot of things. I have one franchisee put his picture on the wall. And my operation manager went there, argued with them, put it down. It's tough. And finally, we closed that store. No. I feel great. This one is a big challenge, a copycat. Copycat in Vietnam is popular. You go there, you buy the DVD, 50 cents, all updated movie, beautiful one, 50 cents. I see all the international visitors buy a big bag like this. And for business model, they copy like very fast. And difficult to sue them. I don't know where to sue, where to knock the door, because every government department holds some certain responsibilities and power. So you have to deal with all of them. So I ended up with using the police. But it's effective. And you lose anyway. In Vietnam, copycat, you sue them, you win, they say sorry, you know, not much compensation, and you already paid the lawyers a lot of money, you lose anyway. But I keep suing them, all of them. And not in Vietnam, this in United States. Houston, Texas. You see my logo? This is the name card. Vietnamese pho noodle, the logo exactly like mine. And you see? Pho 24 Cafe, Vietnamese house. And I already spent money, but still didn't have the result. Because too far away. And actually, I delay a little bit as well. I see what they're doing to test the market for me as well. So if they are doing very good, then I will fly there and talk to them. You become my franchisee, no fee. If they're doing bad, then lawyer come. Bang, bang. My strategy. So what is next? Keep focusing on core products. I say this because in Vietnam there's a fashion that all my friends, only entrepreneurs, go for stock market. Stock market is booming, so go for stock market, playing stocks. I've got one of my good friends, you know, owned a factory, doing very good business, but now he sit at the stock market office whole day, checking, playing stocks, and his business is gone. And also the property market is also very exciting. You know, just before Tet holiday, before February, the Chinese holidays, my little brother, he bought an apartment, something like 200,000 US dollars. And 6 months later, somebody want like 400,000 US dollars. And I said to him, sell, man, because he's selling bread. He got the bread company. You calculate how many breads you can sell to make 200,000 US dollars cash. So he was late, and now it's go back to 150, so he lose 50,000 US dollars. So you can imagine the property market in Vietnam just like that. So the temptation is there. Once, if I play property or stock market, when I play that, you know, you cannot collect $2 for a bowl of noodle. It's difficult. So I tell myself, stay away from that temptation, including women. No, I'm kidding. Focusing on pho. I'm a noodle man. Sorry. Be innovative to stay ahead of the competition. Because a lot of copycats that I cannot sue them because they don't use Pho 24 logo anymore. Now they use, if I use black furniture, they do brown. You know, they do a little bit different. My counter is like this, they change a little bit. So it's impossible to sue them. And many of them like mushrooms. So I have to stay ahead all the time, you know, awake. Product, service, franchise deal have to be changing, updating. Like product, I just introduced the delivery because I make use of the locations that I have everywhere now. So in Vietnam, only KFC is doing delivery because it's convenient, it's a hamburger, but not for the noodle soup. But I already solved the problem. I got the container, got everything, logistic. So we launched delivery last year, and it's excellent. It's 10% of the total revenue. And in the future, it's going to be even better because now the traffic jam in Saigon. It's just like crazy in Hanoi. You know, 10 years ago, when I came to Bangkok, I always make joke, you know, traffic jam. If you're late, you say because of the traffic. And now it's happening in Saigon. Just exactly the same like in Bangkok, but with motorcycle, not cars. Millions of motorcycles. So that means people will be more lazy to go out for food, or they stay back in office. So I guess delivery will be booming. So something like that, you know, I have to do something new. And keep expanding and run as far as possible. It's me, the red one. Because they open fast, 5, 6 stores. Nowadays, I'm more careful, but not stopping. I believe the more number of stores, I mean good ones, the stronger the brand. You know, if you see a lot, then the brand is stronger. And I believe that the more numbers you have, then the operation cost is lower. And it keeps me very competitive. Because for the newcomers, they cannot price the same price as mine. They have to be a little bit lower. They knew the brand is weaker, so lower. But if lower with a higher cost, they cannot make good profit. And I've seen that, you know, one of the competitors just opened 12 stores in 3 months. They opened 12 stores and now close all of them. Because I know in advance they don't make that much money as they expected. Because we already work with the suppliers, the central kitchen, already control the cost. And we still make not much profit as before. So how could they? So, and I will focus more on international expansion. In the past 7 years, I moved slow because I need to strengthen my, my resources, the central kitchen, the human resource, everything. And now it's about time. And also the right model for overseas expansion. You know, the Hong Kong one, the Indonesia one is the right model. And for overseas market, it's good. Like the 2 stores in Hong Kong, the royalty they pay, the money I make on the supplies. Then I realized, you know, this is good. You know, we transfer the know-how, we teach them how to do, we support them, they make the money, then they share with us. So if one store you make 10,000, if I make 10,000 US dollars per store, if I have 100 stores in overseas, it's 100,000 US dollars net profit. It's a lot of money. So it's good. For Breadtalk store, for example, every month I pay Breadtalk franchisor in Singapore a lot of money. I wouldn't tell the figure, but a lot of money. But I'm happy because I make money too. So for 424, I have a focus now for overseas expansion. And we have all the ingredients there already. The food is healthy. The food is simple. It's fast to make. It's easy to learn to train. The investment is low. So why not? The culture is there. And Vietnam or Southeast Asia is on the way up, you know, getting more and more popular. So why not for 24? We use a lot of herbs, a lot of vegetables. So everything is there for the expansion. And that is why our vision from day one until now is to become the #1 Vietnamese restaurant chain in the world, not in Vietnam, in the world. It's possible because nobody doing the noodles in the world. I mean, pho noodle. They do, but small. No big chain doing pho noodle. So why not? We'd like to become already #1, but it's much, much bigger. And this is by me. Pho is more than just a balanced meal. It represents the heart and the soul of the Vietnamese people and country. A lot of culture, a lot of characters in the business concept. Thank you. Okay.
Well,